The International Day of Happiness, known as Happiness Day, is celebrated throughout the world on the 20th of March. The International Day of Happiness was founded by United Nations advisor Jayme Illien on June 28, 2012, when all 193 member states of the United Nations General Assembly unanimously adopted UN Resolution 66/281, the International Day of Happiness, following a multi-year campaign initiated in 2011 by the Illien Global Public Benefit Corporation. 2013, the first International Day of Happiness was celebrated and launched with Ndaba Mandela, grandson of the late President of South Africa Nelson Mandela, and Chelsea Clinton, daughter of U.S. President Bill Clinton and U.S. Senator and Democratic presidential candidate Hillary Clinton at the TEDx Teen Conference in New York, New York. The United Nations and the United Nations Foundation also held ceremonies and celebrations. 2014, the second International Day of Happiness was promoted by Pharrell Williams and the United Nations Foundation with the world's first 24-hour music video to the song Happy. Global citizens around the world were called upon to make their own music video to the song to make the first ever globally crowdsourced 24-hour global music video. 2015, the third International Day of Happiness was promoted by Pharrell Williams, the United Nations and the United Nations Foundation, among other global campaigns. Pharrell Williams made a speech at the United Nations General Assembly where he proclaimed happiness is your birthright and asked for action on climate change. Google created a homepage takeover which received more than 3.5 billion impressions. Google also initiated a campaign where Pharrell would pop up at random and dance in their Google Hangouts feature. History and background of the International Day of Happiness. Founded June 28, 2012, the International Day of Happiness Resolution 66/281 was the result of the effort of United Nations advisor Jayme Illien, who conceptualized the idea for a UN resolution that would recognize the pursuit of happiness as a human right and a fundamental human goal. Jayme Illien, founder of the International Day of Happiness, and Illien Global Public Benefit Corporation, gained the support for the idea of the new International Day of Happiness from the President of the UN General Assembly and United Nations Secretary-General Ban Ki-moon, as well as all 193 UN member states to draft and adopt a new UN resolution to create the new International Day, the International Day of Happiness. Jayme Illien authored UN Resolution 66/281 and campaigned for its adoption by consensus of all 193 member states. 32 years before founding the International Day of Happiness, Jayme Illien was an orphan rescued from the streets of Calcutta, India by Mother Teresa's International Mission of Hope Charities. Jayme Illien was later adopted by a then 45-year-old single white American woman named Annabelle Illien. After agreeing to adopt Jayme, Annabelle Illien founded Illien Adoptions International, Inc., a 501c non-for-profit child social welfare and international adoption agency based in Atlanta, Georgia. Jayme Illien served as advisor to the United Nations. Jayme Illien is United Nations consultant and representative for Economists for Peace and Security, a United Nations ECOSOC accredited NGO with special consultative status. Economists for Peace and Security achieved notability for exceedingly distinguished and thought-leading economic community. The Economists for Peace and Security Board of Trustees has 17 Nobel Peace Prize laureates in the Prize for Economics, including Joseph Stiglitz, Amartya Sen of Harvard University, Lawrence Klein, Oscar Arias, George Akerlof, Kenneth Arrow, Daniel McFadden, Roger Myerson, Thomas Schelling, William F. Sharp of Stanford University, Robert Solow, Franco Modigliani of Massachusetts Institute of Technology, Sir Clive Granger, Vasily Leontiev, Douglas North, Jan Tinbergen, and James Tobin of Harvard University and Yale University. Other notable trustees include former U.S. Secretary of Labor Robert Reich, former Prime Minister of Greece George Papandreou, former U.S. Secretary of Defense Robert McNamara. History of Happiness and notable historical figures. UN Resolution 66/281, International Day of Happiness's adoption in 2012 marks a new historical milestone in humankind's ultimate quest for happiness, which dates back to the time of ancient sages and philosophers such as Buddha, Socrates, Confucius, Aristotle, Plato, Epicurus, Mencius, Abu Hamid al-Ghazali, and religious figures like Jesus, Abraham, Moses, and the Prophet Muhammad, all of whom theorized about the purpose and meaning of life, the definition of happiness, and how to achieve it.